Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. This is your show. We have today's talk, tomorrow's trends. Andrea Jackson,
Yes.
We are so happy to have you here.
I saw a report this morning about the gambling ads that you see everywhere. Have you noticed?
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it concerns me because it's so funny. This used to be something where people never really talked about. Of course, it's a big no-no in sports, and now all of a sudden it is everywhere. If you're not betting on X, Y, and Z, you're out of the loop.
And my understanding was that a lot of the casinos are on Indian reservations, and they have kind of like different laws and everything.
Yeah.
And so I always thought that's how they skirted it. But that I don't know if necessarily that's the case. It's like DraftKings.
Yeah,
that's not owned by
FanDuel, DraftKings, and depending on what state you live in. For instance, here in Florida, I don't believe you're allowed to use either of those apps. You've got to use something that's been sanctioned by the Florida tribes here.
Okay, right.
But we've got two lawmakers in Congress, one Democrat, one Republican, that want to come forward with a law that prevents teenagers from using these betting apps and advertising to. Well, really, it's more focused on advertising. So to take the advertising out of teen-driven sporting events, what isn't a teen-driven sporting event? What's not just a viewer-driven sporting event? To discourage teens from jumping on the apps and
But
gambling.
how do they? It seems like there should be they should have regulation on the apps to say you got to show an ID.
I think they do
because I would even think casinos follow this rule that if you have a gambling problem, you can get on a list and they won't serve you. I don't know if that's just a what do you call it, a lore or anything, but it does help those that have gambling issues where if you go into it, why can't they do just the same? I know there are adult sites that require that require identification, right?
Yes.
So why can't the gambling sites do just the same and just let the advertising be as it is?
Yeah, and it's the sports betting ads that are now under scrutiny. So, and they're saying as online gambling among minors continues to rise, a couple of senators, Katie Britt from Alabama, Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, introducing the Gaming Advertisement to Minors Enforcement Act, which would ban sports betting ads targeting minors on platforms like TikTok and Instagram.
Where's kids getting the money from to do this? I want to know.
Right?
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, first off, you can't. We have the Florida lottery. We have the lottery system, which is gambling.
Yeah.
And that's sanctioned by the government as well. Do you feel like this is a way for the government to be able to get involved in a way much like it is for the lottery?
I just kind of feel like the genie's out of the bottle already.
And that's the point,
You probably should have done something ahead of time, but I don't think anybody really had the foresight to say, you know what, this could be an issue if we're promoting gambling apps on social media, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, all right. So, James, you're our sports guy here.
And you're familiar with these apps.
And you deal with because you're a coach on the high school football team, which, by the way, the season's getting going.
Yeah,
right?
we got spring ball.
Are you hearing about this?
So I would say this. First, you're creating your new customers, right? So
Amen, brother.
Yes.
They're creating new customers, so it would never change. I'm looking at this whole situation. Yes. I think they already had the data as to what was going on because they already have so much data on us anyway.
Yeah.
That they knew that this would possibly create more gambling addicts, and the younger they are, the more they're more likely they're going to spend mommy and daddy's money. They are. Now there are some kids who have their own money. It is what it is. They make money online, but they're spending their parents' money. So with that being said, why would you cut off the water?
You're not justifying. I mean, you're not promoting this. You're just saying what they're thinking. That's what they're thinking, right?
Because when you're talking about gambling, there's so much money that's coming through.
Oh, brother,
the
you have no
pipeline.
idea, right?
So, everybody benefits from it, and just be honest, I mean, a lot of politicians benefit from it because they're the ones who were lobbied to get these things open to be online, right? So years ago, this was never a case. We never had online gambling to this extent.
Yeah. And you think about what the commodity is of gambling. It's basically, I mean, relatively low overhead if you think about it, right? Because like if you compare this to alcohol, well, you have grain, you have water, you have the alcohol, you have barley and all this stuff to make beer or whatever.
You've got to have a brick and mortar,
Right,
some
yeah.
sort of.
All you got to do is a sporting event that's already on television.
yeah.
And,
But-
and they put bet on anything, don't
Yeah,
they?
you can through Kalashi. Kalashi is an app where you can just set your own little.
Like people can
anything.
bet
You
on
can
this
bet
show,
anything,
like
yes.
how many
They
times
can
I
bet on the
stutter
show.
or something.
Right. No, that's
Yeah.
the truth. Yeah, you can definitely bet on that.
That's
People
so
take
weird.
it up and they can make money off it. So the gambling is a big problem. I mean, there are still sports athletes who are gambling. There is a coach who got in trouble recently. He was not betting on his team, but he was gambling and betting on other sports team in college.
Do you think this will go away?
Never.
How much you bet?
I bet billion trillion dollars. It would never go
too
away.
late.
I bet we have viewers out there who want to sound off on this, right?
Yes, if you want to sound off of it, go on it. Just go to our website, dailyflashshow.com, and click on Sound Off. And that's where you will also go to find out where we are in your neck of the woods. So right now, we're on 219 stations across this great country and across the world on the American Forces Network. Go there and sound off on this question of the day. What makes someone dateable?
Love that. Breathing.
She's not dead.
I think just open has, for me, I'm sorry if I'm jumping
No,
on you,
no, go
Jackson,
for it.
but no blinders. And what I mean is
Okay.
you're open to, like opening
Okay.
to other opinions.
Yeah.
I don't have to be right. You don't have to be right, but just you're open and
Okay.
not closed-minded. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Sense of humor.
That's,
yeah, that's
I
one
mean,
of-
I will say that for me, I think dateable
That's-
sense of humor is really important.
Me, my wife, that's how we used to watch these weird, I used to watch these weird shows, and she stayed the night one time, and I came home and she was watching all of my shows. I go, I'm marrying this woman.
love this woman.
I love, and she got the jokes, and they're weird TV shows.
Yeah.
Right.
So you knew it was a match.
Yes,
Right.
right.
I think sense of humor
Sense of
is really
humor is very important.
and I do think flexibility and adventurousness,
Okay.
adventurousness, I should say.
Which I'm starting to think you're using the show as a dating app.
I know.
What is your green flag?
Yes, you know what? See, I just had this conversation with Taylor. Taylor in the control room. Take a shot at Taylor
Hey,
for
Taylor,
me.
take.
He got on me today about my questions of the day and how
There he is.
I'm on either side of the fence and not giving an answer. So guess what? I don't have an answer for it today.
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
All right, we want to hear from you, though. Flash at dailyflashshow.com or just go to our website. Taylor definitely wants to hear from you. And by the way, you can also sound off, meaning you can leave a voice message when you go to our website. Jackson?
All right, Waymo has issued a voluntary recall of 3,800 robo-taxis. The issue? These robot-driven taxis are driving into ditches and flooded areas. A software glitch is to blame. The problem's been in Texas. One AV ended up in a creek with no passenger on board, thankfully. The company now updating software safeguards featuring weather restrictions.
Okay.
I think the question, too, is at this point, how much do you trust these robo-taxis? And one more thing I want to mention here. Waymo recently took off with a passenger's suitcase out in California. He tried to open the trunk, but it wouldn't open, and instead just took off with his suitcase locked inside.
In Nashville, they are going down streets to and stalling out on a cul-de-sac, and not one, not two, 50 of them. They're saying going by. So now the one thing about Waymos are you're driving around in a Jaguar. But then you hear stuff like what Jackson says. You put something in the back and the thing takes off. You can't holler it to stop stop again.
It's on its way.
And
Whoa.
we have to get used to it. This is the kind of stuff that's going to happen. But autonomous vehicles are here to stay. Johnny Cabs, I think of.
Johnny Cabs.
Total Recall.
Total Recall. Thank
Total
you.
Recall.
Yeah, Johnny Cabs.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the technology is getting better. You just got to give it a chance. I mean, we have a ton here in Orlando.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're
they just came in,
everywhere.
right?
Yes, and they're everywhere. I mean, it's a sign of the times. I mean, you're gonna have a few broken eggs before you make it.
But do you think, we always hear about things getting hacked after the fact, too? I mean, do you don't think that these things can get hacked?
I think they're just learning. The AI is trying
I don't
to
know,
learn
I've
more
seen-
and more. That's it.
Was
you
that
know,
iRobot?
we have-
Yeah, that iRobot. Remember, his car got hacked, remember?
Yeah, but in this case, I don't think so. I think what it is, we have changing traffic patterns, and sometimes it throws the machines off. But the technology here, the LiDAR, the LiDAR was invented here in Central Florida.
I did not know that. That's
Oh,
interesting. Which
Well,
makes sense.
The fact that they're driving into flooded areas, and obviously this is a concern when it comes to safety, and you've got weather-related issues, I'm just wondering, at what point are they going to reprogram these things to accommodate that? And we're just talking about rain, but what
Yeah.
about snow? What about tornadoes?
Well, I
What
think
about...
AI obviously will help it with that, but we're not there yet, are we?
No.
At all. All right, we want you to be there. Head to our website and sound off on this. Would you take it away, Mel? Before we head to break, though, we always have our Brain Flash question of the day.
What band became the first to replace themselves at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100? That answer right after the break when we return with more of today's trends, tomorrow's talk. You're watching Daily Flash.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Before we went into our break, we asked that question. Let's see if you got the question right, the answer at least. What band became the first to replace themselves at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100? Happened back in the 60s. It's the Beatles. The Beatles. I think everybody, you say Beatles, pretty much any trivia question is probably the right answer. At least 50% chance of that. Hey, as we jump into parenthood, families are starting to settle into 2026 and emotional fatigue and disrupted routines as children and parents alike pretty much struggling with what they're calling the January or the first quarter emotional hangover. So here was some advice on how to restore balance, very important, and connection is parenting expert Katherine Sellery. Welcome back, Katherine, and we're so happy to have you here. This is a busy time for a lot of people, isn't it?
It really is. And it's such a, a big shift from all the holiday commotion to getting back into like school and routines.
Indeed. And then we have like a holiday, like we had Martin Luther King holiday. So we get back into it after the
More
Christmas
disruption.
and then we stop and we get going and stop. And it seems like it takes until about February, March before things get going. However, you got 4 tips that's going to help us as families. And we're going to start with the first one. First off, why does January feel so hard?
Well, like you said, it's that sudden shift from all of the holiday excitement. And then it's so jarring for kids and adults. So sleep changes, sugar highs, social intensity, emotional anticipation, they're all contributors to the dysregulation that everybody's feeling. It's really not just the kids. I think it's also hard for parents. But understanding it really does give a reframe for parents to respond with empathy instead of frustration and maybe some self-empathy.
Okay. And what do we do that? Sounds like we do a little bit of inventory upon ourselves or what?
Yeah, no, exactly. Just sort of like, wow, I'm noticing I'm really short-tempered. Gosh, I think I'll just give myself an opportunity to take a breath and do some of the skills that help us come back into that sense of, okay, everything's fine. And now I can be the model for that. Help my kids take a breath.
Yeah.
Just really help everybody calm back down into it's okay. Don't have to be perfect.
It's kind of like, since you're talking about breath, I mean, like we always hear about the airport, airplane, put your breathing mask on before the others, because if you don't, then they're going to pick up on that stress and they're going to, it makes complete sense, especially as a parent. I mean,
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, with that, we are going to see probably a little behavior change in our kids. And why are we doing that? Obviously, is it because it's kind of breaking up or are they just getting too much of something?
Right. So, if you see behavior as a signal,
yeah,
and it's a sign of some, the tragic expression of the unmet need is the rule of thumb. So what does that even mean? The tragic expression of an unmet need. So if the overwhelm emotionally shows up as irritability, meltdowns, withdrawal, all kinds of signals that children are overwhelmed. It's not misbehaving. So behavior is communicating an underlying unmet need, whether it's basic stuff like food, air, water, and sleep, which a lot of times it is. But then there's the tie-in, which is the emotional overwhelm as well. So if you recognize that, it can reduce your power struggles just in your own mind to be able to go, okay, this isn't misbehaving. This is overwhelm. Yeah. And then you'll notice that instantly there's more compassion and understanding and less conflict.
Yeah, and that compassion will help you handle the situation a lot better. By all means, I can imagine. Your next tip says, help kids regulate. Regulate what?
Well, parents have to regulate their own emotions, right? So simplify your schedules, slow down, lower expectations. Big flips happen at these times where we're going from there is no schedule to you got to be up in the morning and you got to have your backpack. The difference is huge. So when you're making that transition, the little routines, we're probably kind of into it now, but your calm presence helps them feel safe enough to settle back into just being regulated, taking the deep breath like we talked about, transitioning out of that there is no routine to we've got routine.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And I guess your next tip kind of goes along with that, because here they are. Went through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, out of school, all this stuff. Now the structure is back. But can we do too much? Can we overcorrect on this?
Yeah, I think we can actually. So don't overcorrect, right? January is that it's time to clamp down and regain control, right?
Yeah.
Parents just want to get their kids, to bed, up in the morning, out in the routine. And we understand that. It would just be so much easier if everybody could transition. And depending on what's going on, like a lot of kids have anxiety around starting school again. And will my friends still like me? And am I going to be able to get, all my homework done? So gently reintroducing the structure at home is helpful. So, you're not going to get it perfect. The kids aren't going to get to bed on time every single night.
Yeah.
They're going to have trouble working it all out too. So the last thing you need is to escalate conflict. So getting sleep is probably, I would say, the best thing you can do for everybody, including yourself. Because when we're more rested, we just have more bandwidth.
Oh,
and if we're exhausted, we're kind of irritable. You know what I mean?
I think that's great. And I think having something that my wife had come up with, she said, listen, we're going to schedule family time now. And we kind of did, she didn't do it as a New Year's resolution, but we realized, we need some kind of structure. And so we're actually going through all of this, what you're saying. And that's helped out these past few weeks, by all means, that he knows that he has to be home at a certain time, because it's always going to be basically family time. We might not know what we're doing, but we're going to do something as a family. So I appreciate all of this. Yeah.
You've got a good wife.
She's a great wife, right? She comes up with it all. I get my great stuff from you. I pass it on to her, and she thinks I'm fantastic. So thank you so much, Kathy. We definitely appreciate you being with us. And of course, if you're going through all of this, you can definitely check out her website. You can visit freeparentingbook.com to find out this and so much more. We'll also have this interview on our website.
We turn now to Healthy Living with Obi. Celebrity fitness and nutrition expert and best-selling author Obi Obadike is here to talk about how to fix a slow metabolism. Hi, Obi. Great to see you again.
Hi, how are you doing, Andrea? Great to see you as well. Thank you for having me come on again.
Always great to have you. This is a really fascinating topic, and I think a lot of people want some answers to this. What are the most common things that can slow our metabolism down?
Well, you know what? Everybody wants a fast metabolism, and not everybody knows the answer. There's several things that will slow your metabolism. Number one is not moving, all right? Sitting for long periods of time is damaging, all right? Chronic stress is horrible, will slow your metabolism up, okay? Extreme dieting meaning that you're consuming less than 1,000 calories a day. Sleep deprivation, if you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep a day, all right, that will also slow your metabolism. So those are things right there that is not good for your metabolism whatsoever.
Okay, and those seems like there's some easy fixes for all of those. What about foods? What foods could help speed up or boost our metabolism?
Sure. Well, the best macronutrient is protein, all right? And the reason why is because protein, about 25 to 30% of your calories from protein is burned through the digestion process. So the amount of energy that is used for protein to be burned through the digestion process will speed up your metabolism. Also, protein helps to preserve lean muscle mass and helps to build lean muscle mass. So the more lean muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism will be. That's why you want to have at least a minimum of 25 to 30% of your calories to come from protein, and up to 40 to 45% of your calories to come from protein. And protein has the highest thermic effect, all right? The highest thermic effect out of any macronutrient. That's why protein should always be a staple in your diet when we're talking about metabolism and trying to rev it up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe misunderstand protein in that if they eat too much of it, they're bulking up or they're clogging up their system in a way that it would make it difficult to lose more weight or lean out muscle. But you're suggesting the opposite, which is a fascinating take. And I think that might help maybe clear up some of the misinformation when it comes to protein. What about certain exercises that might be better than others in revving up our metabolism?
Sure. Anytime you do any type of strength training exercises is always a beautiful thing. If you're doing strength training exercises that are basically compound movements that are executing multiple body parts at the same time simultaneously, the amount of energy that's going to be used for that is going to help to speed up your metabolism, like deadlifting, squatting, high intensity interval training. I would say jump roping, plyometrics, jumping over certain objects and boxes, sprint intervals while you're cycling. So any type of high intensity circuit training movements when you're moving from one station to the next, alternating different body parts because of the amount of energy that's used. And strength training is so important, as we've discussed this before, is because of the amount of calories it's going to help you burn after the workout. All right. Strength training is going to help you burn calories after the workout. And the reason why is because the amount, it's called EPOC, the afterburn effect. So when you get done weight training, it takes time for your body to get back to its resting state. And so the amount of time it takes for your body to get back to its resting state, it's still burning calories. It's still burning calories even when you're just chilling and you're not doing anything. That's why strength training is so important. And that's why you always want to constantly be doing high intensity interval training, which is going to help to speed up your metabolism as well, too.
Strength training and that protein so key. You had mentioned extreme dieting as something that can slow our metabolism down. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, I think people think if you eat less, you're going to lose more. In theory, yes, that's true. But what happens if you're not consuming enough calories and you're consuming like less than 1,000 calories or 500 to 800 calories, your body goes into starvation mode, and it slows up your metabolism because your body is conserving energy because you're not getting. That's how your body makes up for you not consuming enough calories in your system. So the idea that, oh my God, if I don't eat anything, I'm going to lose weight. And you will lose weight in the interim, but over a long period of time, it's damaging. It's like putting a gun to your metabolism.
Oh, goodness.
It will shut it down.
All right, Obi, great information as always. Thank you so much. For more information, please visit obiobadike.com or follow Obi on Instagram at obiobadike. You can also check him out on the bi-weekly radio show On Point with Wandalyn Stokes on Atlanta's WAOK-AM and nationally at Odyssey.com.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. Mitch English here.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with James Alexander. James.
What you laughing at, James?
Hey, Taylor's going to get me for this one.
Taylor in the control room.
You can find us at 219 stations across this country. Go to our website at dailyflashshow.com and click on where to watch. You click on our socials, like and subscribe, and you can find out where we are in your neck of the woods. And if you're going to watch this across the globe, go to the American Forces Network. Now, our local friend today, baby, comes from New Orleans, Louisiana.
You're wondering how to talk about Nolens. It's one
Nolens.
word.
Nolens.
Yeah. N-A-W-L-I-N-S.
KWBJ-TV in Nolens.
Yeah, buddy.
Loud in Louisiana, baby.
Babe.
So they got
No, see, I'm telling you, go down there in the south now, boy. And get some more better stuff. Get some crawfish.
We need Taylor to do it. That's where Taylor's from. Taylor's from Louisiana.
He's our Bayou boy, yeah.
Yep. I can do the accent in Louisiana. That Lil Wayne, all that Fire. All right.
Is Lil Wayne from Louisiana?
Yeah, New Orleans.
I didn't know that.
New Orleans. All right.
Do they refer to it as the Big Easy, or is that just a tourist?
No, they
phrase?
refer to it as
Okay.
big. That's a nickname.
Because you know how some
Crescent
people like
City.
Yeah, Crescent City, Big Easy, and
no
stuff
love.
like
What
that.
else do we know about it?
All right, so the city, as we know, sits below sea level. We learned that during Hurricane Katrina. Cafe Du Monde has
Cafe Du
served their
Monde.
famous coffee with chicory and hot milk. It's Cafe au lait?
Cafe au lait. Yeah.
All right, I said it correctly.
Yep.
I kept my accent.
And beignets. Oh, the beignets.
All right, along with beignets in the French market since 1862.
You can get their
Amazing.
coffee in
Yeah.
supermarkets now.
And you know, New Orleans was founded in 1789. I'm sorry, not New Orleans.
The cemetery.
The cemetery was founded in 1789. The one that has everybody that
Yeah.
sits above ground.
It's
All
really
of them
cool.
are.
Yeah.
All of them are.
So, but the number one, it was nicknamed the City of the Dead. That's the one that was founded in 1789.
Now the reason,
No,
and you
it's-
know the reason why all above ground because they can't put
can't
it
go,
underground.
so
So
it's
it's
above
interesting stuff.
It's great to tour that cemetery if you get a
Really?
chance. It's a neat
Okay.
experience.
That's where the vampires
yeah.
are. That's where they shot a lot of vampire
No,
movies.
there's,
The stock.
it's one city that if you want to feel like you're not in the United States, in a good way, by all means, where you want culture and stuff, it's there,
New
man.
Orleans.
It is
Yeah.
there, and you know, a resilient city as well. Obviously, after Katrina, I always though when we talk about Katrina, you have to talk about the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They actually got it stronger on a hurricane. This is
Yeah.
where the weather geek out of me comes. The northwest quadrant of northeast quadrant rather of hurricanes is really where you get a stronger winds, and that's where Mississippi was. So.
Sometimes I think of voodoo.
And voodoo, no, there is. You can buy voodoo stuff. I had a friend. He went there and he was coming down here to Orlando.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey man, I got you something." He got me a chicken's foot from a voodoo lady. I still have it. So check that out.
Great
Chicken
city,
feet.
beautiful people, great
Yeah,
food,
I love
amazing
it.
entertainment.
Great food, 100%.
Yes.
Speaking
Yeah.
of great food, a big resurgence is happening. Do you guys remember me talking about this a few weeks about Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
So Pizza Hut are going back to what it used to be, and it's called like kind of like classic pizza.
Huts.
The Huts,
Hut, yeah.
where you know they still have the building, and you go in, but everything is new, but it looks, you know, with that checkerboard retro.
Yes.
They got all the lights. I don't think all of them have the buffet.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Probably not. Probably okay.
But
Yeah.
Pizza Hut is definitely the place to be able to go. I mean, it was one of those where, because of delivery, it kind of took over. And you realize these brick and mortar buildings were like, you know, we're making more money delivering pizza.
Right.
And people are having things delivered at home. But now we're starting to see people come back. Right now, there's a handful of them across the nation. I know the last one I went to was up in the panhandle of Florida. However, I think it was one of those that they never updated it. It's still the old stuff. But now they're updating it, making it look old but brand new. It's really, really cool.
The same shaped buildings on the outside,
cups.
the red cups, like you said, the checkerboard tablecloths, and there's a certain smell to Pizza Hut when you
100%.
walk in, and it's like, you remember Shakey's? You remember
I do,
Shakey's
yeah.
Pizza?
Do you remember Burger Chef?
Shakey's.
Burger Chef used to
No,
have
I
it
don't
where you
remember
could
Burger
you would
Chef.
get your hamburger and you could put the lettuce and the tomato and everything on.
You did everything yourself?
They just gave you the burger
And they
and the
wanted
bun.
a tip too.
But then the COVID, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we got more Flash coming up. We're also doing CC Hollywood's coming up a little bit later on the show. Don't go anywhere, y'all. Lick it up. Air, land, and sea. I'm Mitch English, and this is Flash Travel. Well, listen, if the thought of traveling just makes your stomach start negotiating terms before you haven't even left the house, you're absolutely not alone. Travel health experts say motion sickness and stomach issues are one of the top reasons people dread planes, cruises, trains, even road trips. But the good news is, most is preventable if you know what to do. First off, where to sit. It matters more than you actually think. On a plane, seats over the wing tend to have the least motion. On a boat, well, midship is the most stable spot. And if you're in a car, listen, riding shotgun beats the back seat every single time. Next, watch what you eat before you travel. Doctors recommend skipping heavy, greasy meals before departure. Stick to a light, bland food, stay hydrated, and try to avoid alcohol and caffeine right before traveling. And yes, even that just one airport drink as well. Another big trigger is your eyes fighting your inner ear. Scrolling on your phone while your body feels motion is basically an invitation for nausea. Experts say looking straight ahead, focusing on the horizon, or even closing your eyes can calm the disconnect between what you see and what you feel. All right, there are also some natural remedies that actually can help. Ginger and peppermint, they have been shown to ease nausea for some travelers. Acupressure wristbands can also help. And if you use motion sickness medication, timing is everything. Doctors say it works best when taken before those symptoms start, not after. So, before you head on your trip, take them. Finally, don't try to power through it, all right? If the motion sickness has ruined trips for you before, just plan ahead, because the only thing worse than missing out on an amazing destination is just spending the whole trip mapping every bathroom along the way. And after all, the best memory, or at least the best souvenir, is a memory, not a stomachache. All right, let's move on now to February travel. If winter has officially overstayed its welcome and February feels like it's just dragging on forever, well, this might be the perfect time to escape. Travel experts say February is a sweet spot for deals, fewer crowds, and destinations that are either warm, festive, or quietly magical. First stop, the Caribbean and Mexico. February brings dry weather, warm temperatures, and peak beach conditions without the spring break chaos. So think turquoise water, quick flights, and the kind of sunshine that immediately improves your attitude. Now, if snow is more of your thing, mountain towns shine in February. Places like Park City, Utah, Aspen, and Banff are actually in their prime with reliable snow, winter festivals, and cozy lodge vibes that make cold weather feel intentional. All right, you're looking for some culture without the crowds? Europe. It delivers in February. Cities like Paris, Rome, Barcelona, much cooler, calmer, and far less packed. Plus, airfare and hotels are often a little easier on the wallet. And if you want something that is completely different, check this out. Asia and Southern Hemisphere, they're calling your name. February actually lines up with the Lunar New Year celebrations in places like Vietnam, even Singapore, while spots like New Zealand as well as Argentina are really enjoying their peak summer. So here's the bottom line. February travel, it's all about picking your mood. Warm beaches, snowy escapes, cultural deep dives, or a bucket list adventures, all within fighting all those crowds, right? Besides, sometimes the best way to survive February is just to leave it entirely. Hey, we want to travel the world with you, so why not join us by commenting on our Facebook page? It's real simple to do. All you have to do is look for Flash Travel TV on Facebook, leave your comment. Even faster way, you know what to do. You can just go to flashtraveltv.com and it'll take you directly there. There you'll find some tips, and we love hearing them. Everybody has some of their own special little tips that they want to share with everybody, and that's what Flash Travel is about, is communicating all those, packing trips, maybe places to see and things to do while you're there. And if you have any ideas on how to skip lines or make the line wait a little shorter, we'd love to hear those. Just go to flashtraveltv.com. I'm Mitch English. We'll see you in the air, the land, and sea. This has been Flash Travel. From New York City, during the pre-Met Gala season, a new cultural conversation is beginning through CC Hollywood's East Meets West series. What began as a fashion event quickly became something much deeper, where conversation replaced separation and where creativity became the common language connecting everyone in the room. This is CC Hollywood.
Before the Met Gala arrives, CC Hollywood opens the door to East and West, hosting an exclusive cultural salon in the heart of New York City. What began as a high-fashion gallery grown into something much deeper.
We are ready for the pre-Met Gala, aren't we? Yeah!
We're so excited.
Yes, the show.
Artists, designers, performers, and visionaries come together not merely to be seen, but to connect across cultures. For CC Hollywood, fashion has never been only about style. It is a universal language, a bridge between East heritage and Western glamour.
At this point in my life, home is anywhere I go. I always step outside my comfort zone. I love people. I love to travel to new places. And I would like to say this, although comfort zone is beautiful, nothing ever grows in comfort zone.
Experience 30 years in the business.
What makes people feel excited to enter a room? What makes strangers hugs like older friends? What makes artists step off the stage and to connect directly with the audience? Perhaps it is the universal human desire to truly see and understand one another. CC Hollywood continues to stand as a cultural window between East and West.
Eat Your Fruits and Veggies Day is here, and registered dietitian Kristen Carley is sharing easy ways to add more without overthinking it. Here's more.
May 21st is Eat Your Fruits and Veggies Day, and we're getting some easy, delicious ways to work more into your routine. One of my favorite shortcuts, keeping options on hand that make it really easy to enjoy your fruits and veggies throughout the day by drinking them. This is the Suja Organic Mighty Dozen. I like to call it a farmer's market in a bottle. It's a great multi-serve option you can keep in your fridge all week. So whether it's a quick pour in the morning or an afternoon pick-me-up, you've got something ready to go. And if you're more of a grab-and-go person, these 12-ounce green juices are perfect. The Uber Greens is for my green juice lovers, and if you're not quite a green juice person yet, Sunrise Greens and Green Delight are a little sweeter and super approachable. Each single-serve bottle has 1.5 servings of fruits and vegetables, so they're a really easy way to work more in. Great for adults and kids. And if you're looking for something really refreshing with low sugar and added probiotics, I love these. The Watermelon Love is a newer flavor, so light and flavorful. And the Ginger Love is a staple, and actually at Costco for a limited time right now. They also have these wellness shots, like Immunity Turmeric Pineapple, Digestion Ginger Pineapple, and Detox Blood Orange. Easy, quick ways to add superfoods to your routine. And for something a little more functional meets flavor, these boosted options like Gut Health Berry Lemon and Immunity Citrus Pineapple are great too. What I love across the board is that these are all organic, super flavorful beverages, all made without any added sugar. Just really simple ways to help you celebrate Eat Your Fruits and Veggies Day in a way that actually fits into real life.
Here with some tips on how to build the ultimate Memorial Day sandwich board is registered dietitian Jillian Barkium. Hey, Jillian.
Hi there. Yes, sandwiches are definitely having a moment right now. So let's start with the bread, because the bread is what makes a good base for any sandwich. I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but sourdough is the new summer staple. But not all sourdough is created equal. Real sourdough starts with just 3 main ingredients: flour, water, and salt. Through long fermentation over days, it develops layered flavor and supports easier digestion. That's why Izio Artisan Bakery's real sourdough breads are my go-to. They bake breads the right way and have since the beginning, through small batches, days of fermentation, and a custom blend of unbleached non-GMO flour with water sourced from the Rocky Mountains. Izio checks all the boxes for high quality, clean ingredients, and delicious real flavor you can feel good about. And for Memorial Day, Izio has 3 options that are perfect for a sandwich spread. Its new organic artisan sourdough sandwich breads are pre-sliced and great for classic deli-style builds. Pre-sliced artisan loaves offer a more hearty, rustic bite. And heat and serve focaccia is a total crowd pleaser. Just warm them up and serve. To build your sandwich board, start with a few different Izio varieties, then layer on your proteins, cheeses, condiments, and veggies. I love setting out a spread so guests can customize their own. It's easy, beautiful, and there's no cooking required, which is key for summer days. Memorial Day is all about gathering with the people you love, and the best gatherings start with great food. With Izio's real sourdough, you can feel good about what you're serving, and everyone at the table can taste the difference. And they'll be back for more.
And finally, history. It is being made in Memphis, Tennessee. The National Civil Rights Museum has reopened its Legacy Experience. And joining us to share what's new is the president of the museum, Dr. Russ Wigington.
This is a powerful moment for the National Civil Rights Museum. It allows us to focus on the last almost 60 years since Dr. King was assassinated, giving people a chance to engage, be inspired by, and educated on what has happened, the trials and tribulations over the last 60 years, and how they can be a part of our future in positive ways. There are numerous powerful exhibits, beginning with the Poor People's Campaign. Happened right after Dr. King was assassinated, led by his wife, Coretta Scott King, who wanted to continue on in that fight for economic justice. So it's a really active way for people to share their sentiments and for us to embrace it and utilize it for good. For more information, go to civilrightsmuseum.org.
Summer is almost here, and lifestyle editor Joanne Butler has the scoop on how to amp up your next backyard barbecue. Hi, Joanne.
Hey, thanks for having me. We're talking how to make backyard barbecues better. Enter hell of a good dips. Totally make it simpler without sacrificing anything, especially flavor. because there's no prep involved, so you can spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your guests. You just set out a few tubs with chips, pretzels, or fresh veggies, and you have an instant, easy crowd pleaser. They say, and I love this, hell of a good dips spark hell of a good moments, and they do, because they live up to their name every single time. 7 delicious flavors: French onion, jalapeno cheddar, and buttermilk ranch we have here. They also work well beyond the snack table as a spread on burgers, sandwiches, or wraps to just amp up the flavor of classic barbecue foods without adding extra steps. Like the French onion dip as a burger topper, jalapeno cheddar as a dip for grilled corn, or buttermilk ranch alongside chicken wings and tenders. So delicious. They also come in bacon horseradish and bodacious onion, plus 2 co-branded flavors, Mike's Hot Honey and Grillo's Dill Pickle. You can find them right in the dairy dip aisle at your local supermarket, and make sure to visit their website, hellofagood.com, for some great recipe ideas.
Back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson.
In the 1930s Chicago, a groundbreaking scientist brings a murdered young woman back to life to be a companion for Frankenstein's monster. Ooh. This is today's must-watch movie, The Bride.
Can anybody help me? Please. I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this! Please. Help. Help. What happened?
You had an accident.
An accident, huh?
We dug you up, then we brought you back to life.
Get on stage, and I call her by her first name.
What do you want with a dead girl?
I'm the same. Born from the dead. I am a monster.
Yeah, so am I.
This world is a black hole.
The corrupt are going to see life is here and it's coming to you from the monsters.
Yes. Yes!
Everybody dance! Everybody sing! Everybody move!
Please don't hurt me, please. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for? Did you do something wrong? Something you thought you might get away with?
Stop right there!
The dead have got something to say. And I'm saying it.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
No, just the bride.
All right. Christian Bale just used his Batman voice, apparently.
He did, right? I think you're right.
That's cool.
Be good, everybody.
Y'all take care. We'll see when we look at you. Our website's always open for you, dailyflashshow.com. We'll see you in just 23 hours.